Well, hello and welcome back to more Dynasty League Baseball What If series. We've done the 1975 Red Sox, the 1986 Red Sox. Were successful in the 86 season, but not the 75 season, both going to the full 7 games. So we decided we would do one in the year I was born, 1967, the Impossible Dream season of 1967. And we're going to do a what if from the 1967 season. So, what if? You may ask. Well, as you can see, batting cleanup here, we have Tony Canigliaro. Now, in the actual season, 2 days after I was born, on August 18th, 1967, Tony C was hit in the eye, which shattered his eye socket and caused all kinds of problems with his eyesight eventually, and eventually probably led to some kind of a stroke he had later on in his life, passing away early. But anyway, we decided to do a what if from that 1967 season, because the actual Red Sox lost 4 games to 3 to the St. Louis Cardinals, and they weren't even expected to in a very tight race with in the American League. I think they won it on the last day of the season, I believe it was, or close to the last day of the season, I think it was. Went down to the wire, and yeah, they weren't even supposed to be in the series, and they came pretty close to winning it. Anyway, we decided to when I was going through the lineup here using Dynasty League Baseball, I didn't even realize that that was the year that Tony C had actually. I knew it was in the late 60s, but I wasn't sure. And I really didn't even know it was 2 days after my birthday, after I was born, that he got hit in the eye and changed his whole career. He was the fastest player, and I think still is the fastest player ever to reach 100 home runs. And I think the only player he hit, like, I think 24 home runs, I think, in his rookie season, which was a record too before the age of 20. And he was also a Massachusetts, New England native from Revere, Massachusetts, in his third season with the Red Sox, third full season with the Red Sox. And yeah, what could have been. And not only is this a what if for the 1967 series, but a what if possibly for the Tony C series. So he used his, when I did go to the Dynasty League Baseball, they had him on the roster here for the Red Sox. So obviously the Dynasty League Baseball just takes into account the 1967 Red Sox and puts a bunch of them on it and put a few guys in the minor leagues. So but Tony C was in the starting thing, so I decided to go with him. Now, one other difference also too is Sparky Lyle, who actually didn't make it to the 67 World Series because of a sore arm in his rookie season. Had a great rookie season, but did not play in the World Series. In fact, Ken Brett, I'm not sure if Ken Brett took his place or not, but Ken Brett, who only had one start in the whole season, ended up a 1 game in the whole season, I think. Not even a start for the Red Sox. Ended up pitching in the World Series. But for some reason, he wasn't on, well, obviously, because he only pitched 1 game, he wasn't on the Red Sox pitcher roster, not even the minors or anything. So, in order to get our 10 pitchers, we elevated Sparky Lyle. So this is a Tony Canigliaro and Sparky Lyle what if 1967 series. Can they pull it off? I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. They still had to face Bob Gibson 3 times, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But anyway, this is a game from Game 1, October 4th, 1967. This is the lineup here, and the lineup is pretty similar to the actual lineup, except for Tony C getting a start in place of Ken Harrelson. So Ken Harrelson is on the bench to start the game. Both right fielders. So Tony C. He's getting the start at cleanup. And I was debating whether or not to put him 4th or 5th. He's got slightly better slugging percentage than George Scott, I think it was. They're very close. So if you look at the slugging percentage here, Scott and Canigliaro, Tony C is 516 and Scott is 475. On base percentage, Scott is slightly higher, 371 to 348, but I decided to put Tony C in the cleanup position there. I may switch him around in the following games depending upon how things go. And I did move Reggie Smith up a little bit in the lineup to break up all the righties there because he's a switch hitter. I moved him up ahead of Petrocelli. But other than that, it's pretty much the same lineup. So anyway, without further ado, let's get this game underway and see if the Red Sox can pull it off against the St. Louis Cardinals. They're going to have a tough task here, but let's see what we can do. And, yep, Bob Gibson is on the hill for the St. Louis Cardinals here at Fenway Park in Boston. So here we go. Let's start the game here. So, against Jose Santiago will be pitching for the Red Sox in the 1967 season. Santiago was 12-4 with 5 saves, which is kind of weird for a starter. But 145 innings pitched. 3.59 ERA. A whip of 1.27, walked 46, struck out 109, surrendered 15 home runs. Lefties hit 282 against them, and righties 230 against them. So the St. Louis lineup against Santiago is going to be Lou Brock, the left fielder, will lead it off, followed by Curt Flood, the center fielder. Roger Maris, the right fielder, bats third. Orlando Cepeda, cleanup hitter and first baseman. Tim McCarver behind the plate hits 5th. Mike Shannon, the third baseman, hits 6th. Julian Javier, the second baseman, will bat 7th. Dal Maxville, the shortstop, hits 8th. And Bob Gibson on the hill bats 9th. All the pitchers will bat in the whole series, like they did back then in 67. So that's the lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. And another thing I was looking at the Red Sox lineup too. Lots of young, promising stars. Yastrzemski, one of the veterans, actually. But Tony C., George Scott, and Reggie Smith and Petrocelli, for that matter, all in their low to mid 20s. So a very young Red Sox lineup there. A lot of power and a lot of potential there. So, all right. So, the Red Sox defense behind Santiago is going to be Yastrzemski in the left, Smith in center, Canigliaro in right. The infield, left to right, is Jones, Petrocelli, Adair, and Scott. And behind the plate, Gibson. And you can see the defensive ratings are mostly B's and C's, with Reggie Smith in the best defensively in center with an A. Canigliaro slightly below average, well, a little bit above a C+ average in right. So not the greatest range. But anyway, all right, so Lou Brock steps to the plate. Lou Brock in 1967 hit 289 with 21 home runs, 75 runs batted in. Santiago looks in for the sign from Gibson. Here's the windup and the pitch. And it's going to be a ground ball base hit. And the Cardinals did win Game 1 in the actual series. So Brock with a leadoff single. All right, so next up is Curt Flood. Flood comes in hitting .334 against right-handed pitching. Flood hit .335 for the season with 5 homers, 50 runs batted in. Scott will hold on Brock at first, who is a threat to steal. Santiago looks in for the sign, looks at the runner, trying to keep him close. Here's the pitch to Flood. 2-1 pitch. And it's going to be a ground ball up the middle. Petrocelli has it. Rifles it first for the out. As Brock got a good break on contact. So a runner in scoring position now with one down for Roger Maris. In 67, Roger Maris hit .269 against righty pitching for the season. .261 with 9 homers, 55 runs batted in. Brock gets his lead off second. Santiago trying to keep him close. Here's the pitch to Maris. Ooh, we have a bizarre play already. Right to short. Brock is breaking for third. Now we're going to get Maris at first. Petrocelli looks towards Brock, but it's an aggressive race running right by Brock. And it's a ground out by Maris. So that'll bring up Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda comes in hitting .325 for the season, 25 homers, 111 runs batted in, and .316 against righty pitching. Trying to put the Cardinals on top. Santiago trying to prevent that. Santiago looks in for the sign. Here's the pitch to Cepeda. Oh, deep drive. 72% chance of an out. Left field, it could be. And it's over the green monster. And Orlando Cepeda puts the Cardinals on top 2-0. So the green monster proves to work against the Red Sox this time. Cepeda hits a 2-run blast to put the Cardinals on top 2-0. So that'll bring up Tim McCarver. McCarver hit .295 with 14 homers, 69 runs batted in, and .307 against righty pitching. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right. Tony C is there and makes the catch for out number 3. But St. Louis gets on the board first with a 2-run homer by Orlando Cepeda and lead it 2-0 as the Red Sox come to bat. So Bob Gibson on the hill. Bob Gibson in 1967 had a 13-7 record with a 2.98 earned run average, 1.09 whip, 40 walks and 147 strikeouts, and surrendered 10 home runs. Against the lefties, lefties hit .236 against them, righties just .227. So the Red Sox lineup facing Gibson is going to be Jerry Adair, the second baseman, will lead it off, followed by Dalton Jones at third. Kyle Yastrzemski, the MVP of 1967 for the Red Sox and won the Triple Crown, bats third. Tony C, in this what-if series, will bat cleanup and play right field. The Boomer George Scott, not sure if he was called the Boomer back then, in 67, but bats fifth and plays first. Reggie Smith, the center fielder, hits sixth. Rico Petrocelli, the shortstop, bats seventh. Rebs Gibson behind the plate, eighth. And Jose Santiago on the hill bats ninth. So the defense behind Gibson is going to be Brock in left, Flood in center, Maris in right. The infield left-right is Shannon, Maxville, Javier, and Cepeda. And behind the plate, McCarver. So Jerry Adair in the box. .268 against right-handed pitching. In 1967, he hit .271 with 3 homers, 35 runs batted in. Gibson looks in for the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. And boom! Just like that. Strike 3. Swing and a miss. You'll probably see a lot of that in this series. So next up is the lefty Dalton Jones, .301 against right-handed pitching. Hit .289 on the season with 3 homers, 25 runs batted in. Gibson looks in for the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. We have an error check. 49% chance of an error. 1-2 pitch. Bad hop. Coombs off Maxwell. So it's going to be an E6. And Jones reaches with 1 out. He'll be held on. He won't be held on, it looks like. No, Cepeda's not holding him on. All right, so that'll bring up Kyle Yastrzemski, the captain. 323 against right-handed pitching. 326 for the season. With 44 homers, 121 runs batted in. All those leading the league for the Triple Crown. Walked 91 times, struck out just 69 times. On base percentage of .418. Dalton gets his lead off first. Gibson looks in for the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. 3-2 pitch. And Yastrzemski gets a hold of one. Deep to right. There she goes. Way back and gone. So the captain, Kyle Yastrzemski, answers with a 2-run home run of his own. And we're off to a fast start here in the 67 World Series as Yastrzemski. It's a 409-foot home run into the right field stands. Tying the game at 2. Gibson cannot believe that one, so Yastrzemski better watch out his next time at bat, as Gibson will make him most likely regret that home run. Well, probably not, but he'll try anyway. So Tony C getting a start in this what-if series here. Tony C, 283 against right-handed pitching. Hit 287 in 95 games. Well, it was 95th game is the one he was injured on August 18th of 1967. Not sure if he played all 95 of them, but anyway, I think he did play 95 games at the time, yep. So, in 349 at-bats, he hit 20 home runs and 67 runs batted in that shortened season there. Month and a half less than the actual full season. Walked 27 times, struck out 58. On base percentage, .341. So Tony C in the box getting his first ever what-if World Series at-bat. See what he can do. Give some pitches. And that's going to be a base hit. So Tony C gets a first base hit in his first World Series at-bat. What would have been. So Gibson stares in at Scott. That'll bring up the boomer, George Scott. Scott hit .303 with 19 homers, 82 runs batted in 67. .304 against right-handed pitching. Canigliaro gets his lead. Here's the windup and the pitch. The 0-2 pitch. Big cut and a miss. And Scott goes down and strikes. So Gibson's second strikeout of the game. So that'll bring up the center fielder, Reggie Smith. The young switch hitting center fielder. Just .234 against right-handed pitching. That's perhaps why he hit behind Petrocelli in the actual season. Usually. Alright, so for the season, he hit .246, 15 homers, 61 runs batted in. So I may drop him down in the next game, seeing those stats there. He did do well against right-handed pitching, though. He did. His slugging and I think his on-base percentage were better than Petrocelli. That's why I put him where he was. And to break up the right-handed pitching. But anyway, Smith in the box, ready to grip and rip. Here's a windup in the pitch by Gibson. Full count pitch. And we get another error check. Hopefully it's on Adair again. No, it's on Brock this time. 27% chance of an error. Brock is there. Misjudges it, and it's off his glove. So I'm not sure why Canigliaro didn't make it to third there, but didn't scoot that far away from Brock, so that's probably why. So let's see if the Red Sox can capitalize on the error by Brock, and they already have by Maxwell. Let's see if Petrocelli can make him pay. So Petrocelli comes in. He hit 259 with 17 homers, 66 runs batted in against right hand for the season with a just 230. He wasn't that great against right hand pitching, just 238. So runners get their leads. Gibson trying to keep him close. Here's the windup in the pitch to Petrocelli. Big swing right through the high fastball. So Gibson does strike out the side, but Yastrzemski does connect for a 2-run homer, tying the game at 2. So after one full, it's tied at 2. Santiago back out on the hill. New ball game now. It'll be Shannon, Javier, and Maxwell. Shannon hit 254 against right-handed pitching. For the season, he hit 245 with 12 homers, 77 runs batted in. Santiago looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball. To third. Jones fires to first and gets Shannon for out number 1. So Julian Javier up there now. 276 against righty pitching. 281 with 14 homers, 74 runs batted in on the season. Pitch by Santiago. That's going to be a ground ball up the middle. Petrocelli scoops it up, throws to first for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the St. Louis second. So that'll bring up Maxwell. Let's see if he can atone for his error. Just 236 against right-handed pitching. For the season, hit just 227 with a homer and 41 runs batted in there for his defense. Pitch by 2-2 pitch. And strike 3 called. Santiago gets his first strikeout of the game. And St. Louis goes in order in top of the second. So 2-2 after 1.5. So Gibson and then Santiago. And then top of the order Adair. Gibson in there for his defense. Hit just 203 on the season with a homer and 15 runs batted in. Just 171 against right-handed pitching. Pitch by Gibson. And Gibson will record his 4th strikeout on the big cut and whiff on the changeup by Gibson. So 1 down now for Santiago. Santiago actually hit better than Gibson did against righty pitching. 190 on the season. He hit 190 in 42 at-bats also. So Gibson, here's the pitch. That's going to be a base hit, so Santiago helps himself with a single to left. So Santiago with a base hit. So that'll bring up the top of the order Adair. Adair 0 for 1 on the day. Santiago not being held on at first. Here's the pitch by Gibson. And we get an infield range check. Shannon. 40% chance of beating it out. And Cepeda has it for the out. So a nice play by Shannon. Gets on the fielder's choice. Gets Adair as Santiago moves into scoring position now with representing the go-ahead run with 2 outs. So that'll bring up Dalton Jones. Jones 0 for 1 on the day. And he goes around for strike 3. So I think, yeah, he reached on the error by Adair. Did Jones? I mean by, not Adair, by Maxwell. So that'll do it for the Red Sox in the second. So it's 2-2 after 2 full. So Gibson with his first at-bat of the game. Gibson just a 130 hitter. 130 against righties. 133 for the season. And 60 at-bats. Pitched by Santiago. And Gibson's going to get a hold of one here. Gap in left center, and Smith won't get it. So Gibson with some surprise power there. Hits into the gap. And he'll be at second, representing the go-ahead run. The leadoff double. So to bring up top of the order, Brock. Brock singled and scored on the home run by Cepeda. Santiago pauses and delivers. And that's going to be a base hit to center. Let's see if they send Gibson. Smith up with it. And Gibson will be held up. So, runners at the corners with nobody out for the Cardinals. Gibson goes up the top to Santiago. He's back behind the plate, sets it up. Santiago checks the runner, pitch to the plate. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Let's see if they send Gibson. Second horn back to first, not in time. As Gibson comes in the back door. As Jones elected to try to get the double play. Even so, the run would have scored anyway. But now Flood gets an RBI. So St. Louis takes the lead 3-2 on the ground out by Flood. Maris up to the plate now. Maris 0 for 1 on the day. 1-2 pitch. Long fly ball to right. Canigliaro is tracking down. He's there and makes the catch for the out. So 2 down now. Flood back to first. Cepeda, who had a 2-run home run to put the Cardinals on top in the top of the first, up to the plate now. Santiago trying to keep Flood close. Scott holding him on. Pitch to Cepeda. And this time, Santiago gets him with the backdoor curve. And that will do it for the Cardinals in the top of the third. But they do take the lead. 3-2 on the RBI ground out by Flood. After scoring Gibson. So Gibson helps his own cause there. Scoring the go-ahead run. So Gibson back out on the hill now with a 1-run lead. He'll face Yastrzemski, Canigliaro, and Scott. Yastrzemski took him deep to right field for a 2-run home run his first time up. Gibson set in the pitch. High fly to center. This one will stay in the park, though. Flood camps under it. Bobbles it, but recovers for the catch. So 1 down now. Yastrzemski is retired. Tony C up to the plate. Singled his first time up. In his first World Series at-bat. Oh no, he gets hit by the pitch. That's ironic. Right in the back. Thankfully it didn't hit him as it did in the actual season. But irony played a part there as Tony C gets hit in the back, but thankfully he's okay. Reaches first. So to bring up Scott to the plate with 1 out and 1 on. Smith in the hole. Scott 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out his first time. Full count delivery. And this time Scott will draw the walk. Gibson thought he had him. Upset that wasn't a strike 3. So the Red Sox got something going with 1 down. First and second, 1 down. Brady Smith with a chance to get the Red Sox even. Canigliaro takes his lead off second. Scott off first. Here's the pitch to Smith. Payoff pitch. Big cut and a miss on the curveball. as Gibson gets him for a 6th strikeout already. And we're only in the 3rd inning. So Petrocelli up to the plate now with 2 down, runners on 1st and 2nd. Here's the pitch to Petrocelli, and Petrocelli will draw the walk. So another walk by Gibson, the 2nd of the game. That's going to load the bases for Russ Gibson, the weak hitting catcher. Gibson on Gibson here. Let's see who will get them. Gibson will come on top no matter what. Hopefully it'll be in the Red Sox uniform. We'll see. As McCarver goes out to talk to Gibson. Gibson shies him away. Doesn't want to talk to him. Seems intense in the game. Doesn't want to be interrupted by his catcher. Carver reluctantly goes back behind the plate. Flashes the sign. Gibson with the pitch. That's going to be a hard ground ball up the middle. Maxwell will field it, though, and tosses it to Javier at 2nd for the out, killing the Red Sox rally. So it remains St. Louis 3-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. McCarver 0 for 1 up to the plate now. And we get another bizarre play. Thunder outside the ballpark. Storm front moving through. Temperatures dropped. Okay. Doesn't look like anything bad has happened there, though. So storm front coming through. Santiago toes the rubber. He pitches. Range check. Smash. Petrocelli going for it. 69% chance of getting him. Scoops it up. Throws off balance at first and gets McCarver. Nice play by Petrocelli to get McCarver for out number 1. He knew the catcher was running, so he knew he had some time. So Shannon up to the plate now. Shannon 0 for 1 on the day. 1-1 pitch. High fly to left. Yastrzemski's there, though. Camps under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So that'll bring up Javier. He grounded out to short his first time up. Santiago trying to get a 1-2-3 inning. 3-2 pitch. Pops it up. Jones calls for it and makes the catch. And the Cardinals go in order in the 4th. So we head to the home half of the 4th with the Red Sox trailing by 1. So Santiago. I think he's 1 for 1 on the game, I think. Yeah, he got a single his first time up. Here's the pitch by Gibson. And this time Gibson gets him on the 1-2 pitch. Takes a big cut and whiffs on the changeup. So Gibson up 7 strikeouts. Adair up to the plate now. And that's going to be another ground ball up the middle. Routine ground ball to short. Maxwell has it. Throws the first. 2 up and 2 down in the Red Sox 4th. So it'll bring up Jones. He was safe on air and struck out. 0 for 2 officially. And this time he'll get his base hit to right. And Jones will reach on a 2-out single. So Yastrzemski with another chance now. He's 1 for 2. 2-run blast in the 1st to tie the game at 2 at the time. Fans on their feet. Hoping for a repeat of that. And Yastrzemski with a big cut, whiffs on the changeup for strike 3, trying to get another 2-run homer. And that will do it for the Red Sox in the 4th. So we head to the 5th with the score St. Louis 3 and Boston 2. It'll be Maxwell, Gibson, and Brock up for the Cardinals. Santiago pitches. And that's going to be hitting to the gap. Extra bases. Smith cuts it off, but Maxwell will reach second with a leadoff double. So Gibson up to the plate now. He'll probably be expected to bunt here. Corners are going to play in on the grass, expecting Gibson to bunt. Here's the pitch. Gibson with a bunt attempt. 50% chance of it not being successful. Jones comes up, scoops it up, rifles at the first, throws low, but Scott scoops it up nicely for the out as Gibson gets the job done, and Maxwell moves up to third with less than 2 down. So Brock with a chance to add to the Cardinals' lead there. Red Sox are going to bring the infield in. Santiago winds up and pitches. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Petrocelli backhands it, throws the first for the out as they hold Maxwell at third. So Santiago 1 out away from getting out of it and keeping it a 3-2 game. Flood with an RBI already today. Back to a curve, freezes him over the plate. And he gets punched out. So Santiago keeps it a 3-2 game as we head to the home half of the fifth, halfway through the game. St. Louis leads by a run. Tony C to lead it off. He's 1 for 2 on the day. 1 for 1 on the day. He was hit by a pitch his second time up. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Tony C will get his second hit of the game. Leadoff single representing the tying run. That'll bring up Scott. George Scott struck out and walked. Pauses and delivers. And we get an error check. 73% chance of an error on Javier. Bad hop on Javier, and everyone's going to be safe. So St. Louis defense commits another error. Both the middle infielders with an error. So the Red Sox got something going first and second. Nobody out for Reggie Smith. Smith 0 for 2 on the day. Gibson toes the rubber. Kicks and delivers. And Reggie Smith with the ground ball. It's going to go through the center for a hit. Canigliaro will score from second. The tying run. And we're not going to send Scott to third with nobody out. So the Red Sox tie the game on the Reggie Smith RBI single. Still nobody out. Infield playing in. Petrocelli with a chance to put the Red Sox on top. 3-2 pitch. Back to a curve, freezes him for out number 1. So big first out there. Defense is going to play back now for Russ Gibson. It's definitely a double play candidate here. Gibson with a chance to put the Red Sox on top. Gibson to Gibson. And right over the plate for a strikeout for Gibson. So the first 2 men reach. Gibson strikes out the next 2 batters. 1 more from getting out of it. Santiago already has a hit off of him today. See if he can get another one here. Put the Red Sox ahead. Gibson pitches. Hard ground ball up the middle. Melville backhands it. Throws to second for the out. So the Red Sox tie it up on the single by Reggie Smith. But can score no more. So 3-3 as we head to the top of the 6th. Santiago back out of there on the hill again. He'll face Maris, Cepeda, and Carver. Santiago, the windup in the pitch. Error check. 49% chance of no error on Scott. Scott fields it, take it to the bag himself for the out. So to bring up Cepeda, he's 1 for 2 with a 2-run blast in the first. Santiago toes the rubber. He pitches. Now the bizarre play. Foul tip. Deflected off Gibson. He's down in a bit of pain. And they're coming out. Trainers are coming out to take a look at him. He's shaking up a bit. He's going to leave the game. So Russ Gibson is going to be injured for looks like 1 game. Now, who do we have? Who's our backup catcher? Elston Howard, I think. Yeah, I think it's Elston Howard. Or Mike Ryan. Yeah, Mike Ryan's going to come in. Mike Ryan. I think he's our best bet. Yeah, Howard. To the end of his career, he's a third catcher. So it's going to be Ryan. Ryan's going to come in. I think Ryan's a little bit of an upgrade offensively. Probably not quite as good. Well, about as good defensively. Not too much difference in there. Alright, so Gibson out of the game now. Ryan back in there behind the plate. Ryan flashes the sign. Santiago nods his head. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit. This can go for extra bases. Down the right field line. Fair ball. Bounces in the corner. And he goes up with it. But Cepeda will reach with a double. So a home run and now a double. And Carver with a chance to put the Cardinals ahead. Carver 0 for 2 on the day. Cepeda gets his lead. And that's going to be a ground ball. Scott has it. Takes to the bag himself. As Cepeda moves to third now with 2 down. So to bring up Shannon 0 for 2. Shannon with a chance to put the Cardinals back on top. Full count pitch. Error check. 47% chance of no error. Right to short. Petrocelli boots it. So that's going to allow the run to score. So that's going to be an unearned run. And that will put the Cardinals on top 4-3. Petrocelli saying, yep, I should have had that one. So Shannon, no RBI on the play as there was an error. But nonetheless, Cardinals on top 4-3. Javier in the box. And Santiago will walk Javier. So first and second, 2 down, 1 run already in. All these runs will be unearned if any more score. Maxwell, the 2-1 pitch. Range check. Petrocelli dives for it. 70% chance of getting him. Stops it. Guns the first for the out. So Petrocelli answers his error with a great play. But the error does prove costly as the Cardinals retake the lead 4-3 as we head to the home half of the 6th. Red Sox with the top of the order: Adair, Jones, and Yastrzemski. Gibson with 10 strikeouts already. Range check in the outfield. Maris dives. 51% chance he won't get it. Can't get it. He stops the ball and is up with it quickly as holding Adair to a single, so he managed to trap it with his body. holding Adair to a single. No, we're not going to send him. So, Adair with a reaches on the error by Maris. Well, actually not an error. I don't think it was an error. Just wasn't able to catch it. So St. Louis does have 3 errors on the day. So Jones up to the plate now. Adair gets his lead. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's going to be a walk. So Gibson showing a little bit of control with his 3rd walk of the day. So Gibson powering through. Definitely doesn't have his best stuff today. But it's still leading 3-2. First and second. Nobody out for Yastrzemski. So Gibson toes the rubber. Yastrzemski ready to grip and rip. Trying to put the Red Sox back on top. And that's going to be a ground ball to first. The easy pickup, throw second. And they get the middle runner. So it'll put runners at the corners on the, as Ron Willis has started to warm up in the St. Louis bullpen. Canigliaro to the plate now. A chance to tie the game with a base hit. He pauses and delivers. And Tony C with a big cut right through the high fastball for a strikeout. So 2 down now. The run is still at the corners for the Broomer Scott. See if he can at least tie this game up with a base hit. And it's going to be a hard ground ball up the middle. Javier has it. Underhand toss to second. And Yastrzemski is out. So Gibson gets out of it with no damage. And it remains 4-3 as we head to the 7th. So it'll be Gibson then top of the order. Red Sox are going to get some action in the bullpen. Let's see. Who do we got coming up here? Lefty, righty, lefty. So a couple of lefties in there. So Sparky Lyle, I think, is going to start warming up in the bullpen. Sparky Lyle, who did not actually pitch in the series. He's part of the what if. But does, because of a sore arm, does get a start because Ken Brett was not on the roster to come in and pitch as he did in the actual series. But so Lyle took his place. So warming up in the pen now. Gibson up to the plate. Gibson steps up. Oh, and that's going to be it for Bob Gibson. And Dave Ricketts is going to come in and pinch hit for him. So Gibson's day is done. Red Sox happy to see that. Although they were able to get to him somewhat. They got 7 hits off of him with 3 runs. So Ricketts up to the plate now. Don Ricketts. No, is it Don Ricketts? I think it is. Dave Ricketts, sorry. Not Don Rickles. Dave Ricketts up to the plate now. 273 hitter on the season with a homer and 14 runs batted. 99 at bats. Hit an even 300 against right-handed pitching. Santiago kicks and delivers. Error check. Oh, God, Scott. No error, 51%. Goes between Scott's legs, and the Red Sox, wow, it's going to go all the way to the wall. It's going to be a double. So, the second error by the Red Sox. First one was costly as it put the Cardinals on top. This one could be just as costly. So, runner in scoring position already with nobody out after the error by Scott. Brock up to the plate. And that's going to be a line out up the middle. Caught by Adair. As Ricketts will dive back to second. So it'll bring up Flood. As Sparky Lyle stopped throwing, looks like he's ready. That's going to be a ground out. The third. Looks Ricketts back. So 2 down now. And that's going to be it for Santiago as he's being called back. Sparky Lyle's going to come in. Yeah, Sparky Lyle's going to come in. Oops. So Santiago's day is done. Sparky Lyle comes in the game. So Lyle on the season, in his rookie season, was 1-2 with 5 saves, with a .228 earned run average, 1.08 whip, walked 14, struck out 42, surrendered 3 home runs. Lefties hit .302 against him. Wow. Righties just 167. Here's the pitch by Lyle. And he gets him on the changeup for strike 3. So Lyle gets out of the jam, keeps it a 4-3 game. So it'll be Smith, Petrocelli, and Ryan. So Reggie Smith with a big RBI single to tie the game at 3 at the time. Willis in there for the Cardinals. Willis with a 6-5 record and 10 saves in 81 innings pitched. ERA of 2.67, whip of 1.47. Walked more than he struck out. Walked 43, struck out 42. Lefties hit .299 against him. And righties .242. So Smith, the lefty, in there against him. And we got another bizarre play. Hopefully let's go for the Red Sox. Oh, another storm coming through. Bryles has started to warm up in the St. Louis pen, so nothing that exciting there. So another bizarre lightning and thunder in the distance. So Smith back in the box. Willis delivers. And that's deep to right field. Way back. It's going to short hop the wall. And Smith will reach on a 2-0 double. So Smith representing the tying run as Jack Mambe has joined Bryles in the bullpen warming up for the Cardinals. So Petrocelli with a chance to tie the game with one swing of the bat. Petrocelli been pretty quiet today, 0 for 2 on the day. Has walked once. Smith gets his lead. Willis looks at him. Petrocelli. Payoff pitch. Error check. 89% chance of an error. Right at third. Skips between Shannon's legs. Smith will round third and score. So both defenses sloppy today. Cardinals with their 4th error. Red Sox with 2. So they'll tie the game at 4. Fans on their feet here at Fenway. Mike Ryan getting his first at-bat of the series after the injury to Gibson. 198 against righty pitching. On the season, he hit just 199 with 2 homers, 27 runs batted in. So not much offense from the Red Sox backstops this year. So infield is playing in. Is Ryan any good at bunting? Yeah, he's a C bunter. So he's going to square around to bunt. Petrocelli gets his lead, squares to bunt. 47% chance of success. Right off the mound. Willis is out there on, scoops it up, throws to first for the out. So, wasn't pretty, but he got the bunt down. And that's going to bring up Lyle. Lyle will be lifted for a pinch hitter. So substitutions coming in here. Who are we going to have pinch hit for Lyle? Do we want Ken Harrelson? Oh boy. Or Joe Foy. Oh boy. Could bring in Mike Andrews. Yeah, Mike Andrews, he's a good bunter too, but we're not going to have him bunt now. But Mike Andrews is going to come in and pinch hit for Lyle. One down, so we gotta be ready here. We gotta get somebody warming up in the bullpen. We'll be right back. Alright, so Dan Osinski is gonna start warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Mike Andrews on to pinch hit for Lyle. Andrews 260 against righty pitching. On the season, he hit 263 with 8 homers, 40 runs batted in. Petrocelli gets his leadoff second, representing the go-ahead run here in the home half of the 7th. Fans on their feet. Here's the pitch. We got an error check. 3% chance of an error. Willis makes the play, fires to first for the out, as Petrocelli moves to third with 2 outs now. So Adair 1 for 4 on the day. Chance to put the Red Sox in the lead. Willis looks in for the sign. Bryles and Lemambre are ready in the bullpen. Willis pitches. That's going to be a hard ground ball up the middle. Javier makes the play, throws to first for the out. Nice stretch by Cepeda. So it's going to be Cepeda, McCarver, and let's see. So Osinski's going to come in and pitch for the Red Sox. In a 4-4 game here in the top of the 8th. Heart of the order, Cepeda, McCarver, and Shannon. Cepeda 2 for 3 with a double and a home run. Osinski comes in with a 3-run record with 2 saves. 68 2/3 innings. He had a 2.54 earned run average, 1.18 whip. Walked 14, struck out 38, allowed 5 home runs. 295 against lefty pitching and 216 against righty pitching. Against righty batters, sorry. Lefty. So Osinski looks in for the sign from Ryan. Here's the windup and the pitch. Get a range check. Jones dives. 44% chance of getting him. Stops it. Throws the first. 30% chance of getting him. And he gets him. Nice play by Jones. Keeps that leadoff runner off. Center Brian McCarver is 0 for 3. Toes the rubber and the pitch. Pops it up. Deere settles underneath it and makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down in the St. Louis 8th. That'll bring up Shannon 0 for 3 on the day. Bryles and Jaster warming up in the St. Louis pen. And Tolan's going to be, Shannon's being called back, and Bobby Tolan's going to be announced as a pinch hitter. Bobby Tolan, 263 average, 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. 258 against righty pitching. Here's the windup and the pitch. Soft grounder to up the middle. Adair scoops it up, rifles it to first for out number 3. So that'll do it for the St. Louis Cardinals in the 8th. 1, 2, 3. So we head to the home half of the 8th. Larry Jaster in there now. 9-7 record with 3 saves in 152 and a third innings. He had an ERA of 3.01, whip of 1.21, walked 44, struck out 87, allowed 12 home runs. Lefties hit 217 against them, and righties 249. So Jaster the lefty in there. Do I leave Jones in there? Let's see. Jones 1 for 3 on the day. I think we might pinch hit for Jones. Can anybody else play third? It'll tell me. I'm pretty sure we do. Oh, I might have used him already. Yeah, Foy I'm pretty sure can play third. So I think Joe Foy. Foy's going to come in and pinch hit. So Foy 309 against lefty pitching. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it proves to be good strategy. And it's going to be a ground ball base hit for Foy. So Foy representing the go-ahead run. Here in the bottom of the 8th, reaches. Yastrzemski to the plate now. Yastrzemski 1 for 4 on the day. That one hit, a big one. A 2-run homer in the bottom of the 1st off Gibson. Lefty on lefty here. Foy gets his lead being held on by Cepeda. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that's going to be base hit for Yastrzemski. Base hit to left. Foy rounds second. And he'll hold there. So Red Sox got something going here in the bottom of the 8th. First and second. Nobody out. Infield coming in. Tony Canigliaro with a chance to be the hero here. Tony C. 2 for 3 on the day. As Horner is coming in to pitch for the Cardinals. Horner is 4-4 with 15 saves. 66 innings pitched. 2.59 earned average, 1.09 whip. 20 walks, 50 strikeouts, 5 home runs allowed. 258 against lefties, 215 against righties. So Tony C with a chance here. Runners get their leads. Pitch to Tony C. He's swinging away. That's going to be a ground ball. The third, Speedo scoops it up on the run, throws the first. So that works as like a sacrifice. So Tony C at least advances the runners there. So second and third, George Scott with a chance to be the hero. Scott pretty quiet today, 0 for 3 with a walk. Infield in. Horner looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's going to be a hard ground ball. The short, Maxwell has it. Looks Foy back and throws the first. Low throw, but Cepeda's able to punch it out. So second and third, up to Reggie Smith. Smith will bat righty against the lefty. Horner. Smith much better as a right-handed batter against lefties. 285. See if fans on their feet here at Fenway. Horner looks in for the sign from McCarver. Smith ready to grip and rip. Here's the windup in the pitch. It's a deep drive. 14% chance of a home run. Deep center, fled after it at the warning track and makes the catch. So Smith gave it a ride, just didn't have quite enough on it. And that will do it for the Red Sox as we head to the 9th with the scores tied at 4. Oh, and I didn't have anybody warming up, did I? Oh, no, I did. Okay. So Joe Foy. Let's look at him. Let's check out the defense here. C plus is Foy. Okay, could I move Adair to third, but who would I get to play second? Yeah, I don't have anybody else. I don't think there's anything else I can do. What does Seaborn do? First, no. No, I think our best bet is to leave Foy in at third. Yeah. Yeah, Andrews would have been our only, but he would have been a C at second, so I'd rather keep Adair. Yeah. We'll put the weaker defense at third. So Foy will move into third. He's definitely a downgrade from Jones. Not much, though. No, actually, he's an upgrade. He's a C plus, and Jones is only a C, so never mind. So Foy is slightly better defensively at third. Slightly better range. Alright, so Sinski back in there for his second inning of work. It'll be bottom third of the order. Javier Maxwell in the pitcher's spot. Javier 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Pitch by Osinski. Payoff pitch. And takes a big swing and whiffs on the changeup. So Osinski gets him for out number 1. Maxwell 1 for 3 with a double. Here's the pitch. High fly to center. Smith is there and snags for out number 2. So Horner will definitely be called back, I'm sure. Let's see who they bring out. Alex Johnson comes in the pinch hit. Johnson 235 against righty pitching. For the season, he hit 223 with a homer and 12 runs batted in. Johnson in the box. Osinski looks in for the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. As Lamabe is loosening up in the pen. We get a range check on the infield. Oh boy. 59% chance of getting him. Osinski off balance throw just in time. Nice play by Osinski for out number 2. Those range checks are pretty scary. Definitely not definites. So, 1 down now. That'll do it for the Cardinals in the top of the 9th. So the Red Sox with a chance to walk it off here. They'll have the bottom third of the order. Petrocelli, Ryan, and then the pitcher's spot. Petrocelli 0 for 3 with a walk. Mabe in there now. He was 4 and 7 with 5 saves. 84 in the third innings pitched. ERA of 3.20, whip of 1.02. 12 walks and 36 strikeouts. Allowed 6 home runs, 241 against lefties, 230 against righty pitching. So Mabe looks in for the sign. Petrocelli ready to grip and rip. And he rips, but misses at the pitch in the dirt. So not a good pitch there. And Petrocelli goes down and strikes. So that'll bring up Ryan. Ryan 0 for 1 since coming in. Sacrificed his first time up, so does not have an official at bat. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball. To third. Spezio, now in at third, makes the play. So Spezio in at third. Ed Spezio. I think he might have been the father of Scott Spezio. I'm not sure. But Spezio is in at third now. He's a C plus range for the Cardinals. So pitcher spot in there. We're going to get somebody warming up. Okay, so let me get somebody warming up. Oops. Cancel. Let's get somebody warming up. Do I want to get... I think Wyatt was the closer. Yeah, I'm going to bring Wyatt. Or do we want Stange? Who do we got coming up? We got Brock, Ford, and Maris. So 2 lefties. Base percentage against the lefties. I think we might bring in Lee Stange. I think we're going to get Stange is going to come in. Yeah. Lee Stange is going to start warming up. We won't bring the closer in yet. So Stange is going to start warming up. Sinski is going to be lifted for a pinch there. So we're going to bring in a lefty if we can. Okay, so against righties. Norm Seaburn. Why not? Norm Seaburn. Now we'll bring in Ken Harrelson, I guess. Ken Harrelson. Ken Harrelson will come in and pinch hit for Asinski. Harrelson with .255 average, 12 homers, 54 runs batted in. He would have been the starting right fielder in the World Series. He was in the actual World Series. But he's got a big pinch hit chance here. .249 against right-handed pitching. A home run would send the fans home happy. So Lamambe, Mabe looks in for the sign from McCarver. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's going to be a base hit for Harrelson. So a 2-out single keeps the inning alive. For top of the order, Adair. Adair 1 for 5 on the day. Harrelson gets his lead. Cepeda holding him on, trying to keep him close. Adair in the box. Here's the windup in the pitch. Range check. Slow roll to third. Spezio charging. 59% chance of being safe. Doesn't have a play, and it's going to be an infield single for Adair. So that will be the winning run now in scoring position. Joe Foy with a chance to send the fans home happy. Foy came in to pinch hit and delivered with a single. Pinch hit for Jones. See if he can get his second hit and send the fans home happy. Carver goes out to talk to Lamabe. Is back behind the plate. Foy trying to concentrate. Send the fans home happy. Ready to grip and rip. .235 against righty pitching. But that doesn't matter if he can get a base hit now. So Lamabe looks in for the sign. McCarver, here's the windup in the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball base hit. Harrelson rounds third. And will score the winning run as the Red Sox mob him. And the Red Sox pull it out 5-4 in this what-if series in Game 1. So they actually lost the Game 1. But in dramatic fashion in the bottom of the 9th, Joe Foy sends the Red Sox fans home happy. With a base hit single here in the bottom of the 9th. What an exciting way, a walk-off single. As the Red Sox survive 5-4. So let's take a look at the pitching here. So Santiago in 6 2/3 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Sparky Lyle came in and pitched a third of an inning, striking out the only batter he faced. Osinski gets the win 1-0. Pitches 2 scoreless innings, striking out a batter, facing the minimum. So Bob Gibson goes 6 innings, allowing 7 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 was earned. His defense definitely let him down. Walking 3, striking out 11, allowed 1 home run to Yastrzemski. Willis came in, is charged with a blown save, pitching an inning, allowing a hit and a run. It was unearned in his defense. Jaster came in, did not record an out, allowed 2 hits and 2 batters he faced. Horner came in and pitched an inning, scoreless inning. And Lamambe takes the loss 0-1, pitching 2/3 of the inning, allowing 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned, striking out a batter. So, I think you got to give it to Joe Foy, player of the game. 2 for 2, the unlikely hero, after he came in to pinch hit for Jones. 2 for 2 with an RBI. That RBI, the game winner. Yastrzemski was 2 for 5 with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. Tony C, in his what-if series, getting a start, goes 2 for 4. Reggie Smith, 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. For the Cardinals, Orlando Cepeda was 2 for 4 with a 2-run homer, 2 runs scored. Lou Brock was 2 for 4 with a run scored and a double. No, he didn't have a double. Sorry. Gibson did have a double himself. 1 for 1 officially. So let's take a look at that. So there's the rest of the box score. Cepeda and Yastrzemski with home runs in the first. Lots of errors in this game. Very sloppy fielding. The Cardinals committing 4 errors by Brock, Shannon, Javier, and Maxville. Only 2 of the Red Sox 5 runs were earned. Red Sox with errors by Scott and Petrocelli. So let's take a look at the summary here. There it is. I'll let you stop if you want to for the play-by-play. Let's take a look at the bottom of the 9th here. As Jack Lamambe pitching for St. Louis. Relieved Joe Horner. Petrocelli strikes out swinging. Mike Ryan grounds out, so they got the first 2 outs. But then, Ken Harrelson with a key pinch hit. Pitching for the pitcher. The pitcher spot. Jerry Adair then singled, moving up Harrelson to second. And then Joe Foy delivered with a RBI game-winning single to left. So 3 straight singles after the first 2 outs were recorded. And the Red Sox are able to walk it off on a blown range check. Allowed Adair to reach. So the Red Sox capitalized on the poor defense by the Cardinals. Showing a little bit of poor defense themselves, but are able to withstand and walk it off in the bottom of the 9th. So the Red Sox take game 1. Like we said, in the actual game, they lost it 2-1. So let's cut out of here. Actually, let's just go, hold on. There we go. So the Red Sox win 5-4 in dramatic fashion. They left 16 runners on base, too. I didn't see that. Wow. So, Red Sox survived game 1, so we'll be back with game 2 next. So take care and God bless. If you enjoyed the game, definitely Give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell so you know when we upload new content. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you back for Game 2 of the 1967 What If World Series. Bye for now.